So, welcome to today's session. It is, as I said, my birthday today. I'm going to go through a little bit of morning mobility routine. I say I don't do, this isn't necessarily something I do every single morning, but it is a full body mobility routine. We're going to work on the spine, into the hips, and then finish off with the shoulders to make ourselves feel lovely and beautiful on this lovely, beautiful, sunny, see the sun come in morning, and we can get started into this very, very quickly. But just before we do, just checking in. What present did I give myself for my birthday? Some brand new socks. Bam! Look, we've got vibes on. Can you see that? And mushrooms, of course. No white socks up in here. Do not be coming up on my birthday with white socks on. No. Okay, we're ready to get started into this. Yeah. Great. So, one of the things that we like to do with the School of Calisthenics is to understand what it is that we're improving and knowing whether we've improved something. So before we do anything, I've literally had my breakfast and that is it. Haven't done any movement or mobility or anything this morning. What does the system feel like now? You're going to do this with me, and then what is it going to feel like at the end of this 15-minute little routine? So you're going to go standing. We're going to go overhead squats, so hands go up overhead. You're going to sit down to that bottom position and stand back up. You're just going to do a couple of reps of that. See what that bottom position feels like. Oh, my hips feel quite tight. Do my arms want to fall forward when I go down here? What does that shape feel like now? Before we've done anything, as a little bit of test, retest. We're going to come back to that at the very end, just to show to ourselves the difference or the improvement that we've made. So first point of call, we're going to go spine, then we're going to go hips, and then we're going to go shoulders. We're going to go for the spine first. We think that everything, the control center up here in the brain is going to tell your body what to do for whatever movements and things you're going to want to do, and it's going to dictate how much it's going to let you do those things. And so if we're all jacked up through the spine, and it's all those messages that's got to come down through the spinal cord, if we're all jacked up through here, and your spine is supposed to flex, it's supposed to extend, it's supposed to be able to rotate, then that's going to have an impact potentially on whether the brain wants you to have really nice, loose, open hips or not. We've got to think about the system as a whole rather than just isolating in on individual areas, if that makes sense. So, first one, really simple. We're going to go through some cat-cow movements. So we're going to try and drop the chest down and extend the spine up. I'm trying to push my bum backwards as much as I can. Lift even through the neck as well, because that is just the top part of your spine. And then we're going to roll down the other way. We're trying to hump up as much as we can. And I really want you to feel like I'm pushing, tucking the bum underneath, and then pushing my back up towards the ceiling. And I should be working hard in that. Come back down. Nothing painful, but I do want us to try and feel these end range positions. Just going to do a few. We're not going to necessarily count the reps. We're just going to do what feels good. So tuck the pelvis underneath, lift my back, middle of my back up towards the ceiling. Do one more down here. Neck up. Working hard, but at the same time, trying to relax into those end range positions. We're going to look at a little bit of rotation now, so I'm going to thread one hand down to the floor, bend that elbow, and let this shoulder come down to the floor. Come back up, then the other side. Come back up again, the same thing. Just starting to move in and out of some of these shapes. But now I'm looking at getting some of that spinal rotation. Good, one more each side. Again, you could do a little bit more, a little bit less. It's what feels good as well in these positions. We can also think about, obviously, the shoulder and the scapula is moving, letting that shoulder and scapula move freely. Next one, you're going to come down onto take your bum down towards your heels. Elbows are going to be touching your knees, and then one hand goes to the back of the head. I'm going to rotate up. Oh, that feels good. That feels a little bit tight. By elbows being by the knees and the bum by the heels, that just fixes our pelvis in place, so we're not rotating through there. You're only going to be able to rotate now through your spine, particularly your thoracic spine. Good. Come back. And then what I'm trying to do is I'm going to find some of these end range positions, and I'm going to get to there, and then I'm going to try and breathe in, and I'm going to breathe in out through my nose. I'm going to breathe out, I'm going to relax, and then I'm going to try and push actively a little bit harder. Hold that shape, breathe in, relax. I can go a little bit more. So a little bit of contract and relax to that end point. So find your end position. That's about it. Deep breath in, through the nose, out through the nose, relax, and try and go a bit further. So now squeezing. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. I can feel my back working to try and find that rotation. With the breath and relax. Then can I go a bit further? Oh. Do one more of those each side. So find that end range position. Squeeze, breathe in, and relax. Can you push it a little bit further? So pushing down through this hand. Feel the back working to create that rotation. Breathe in, and relax. And we can go a bit further. Oh. Yeah, I can feel that's a ton further. That's on this side, so find that end range position. Squeeze, push down through this hand. Breathe in through the nose. And relax. You can go a bit further. Yeah, there you go. Squeeze. Breathe in through the nose and out. Relax. You can go a bit further. Oh, nice. So a good little bit of rotation there through the spine. Now you're going to get a good glimpse of these socks. Yes, we're going to come down into our 90, oh sorry, no, before we go into our 90 position, we're going to be kneeling, and we're going to look to work into the hip a little bit more. So the spine should feel like, ooh, yeah, like there should be a little bit more motion going on there. We're going to use our femur to massage the back of the hip in two shapes. So kneeling, I'm going to go into the right one first, and I'm going to cross my left leg over, down, so you can see, I'll show you from the side. I'm going to cross my left knee over, and I'm going to sink in. Do whatever you want with your hands. I'm going to sink in both on your hands, looking down on your elbows. What I'm trying to do is sink in, I'll show you from this side as well. Sink into this hip here. And by the fact that this leg, my right leg is across me, that's in a little bit of external rotation for this right hip. And I'm just going to do a little bit of wiggling and try and find some corners of that hip. But I'm taking virtually all of my weight into this right hip, and I'm just going to look at massaging in to the back of it. So working back here to the side, just a bit of a seek and destroy. Try and you find where, like, is it further up here, is tight, or is it when you sit down into it? What feels like you need to spend a bit more time at. We'll swap over, we'll do the other side. So now we're going to do the left leg, right knee comes across, left foot is on the diagonal, so we get some external rotation at that left hip. Shake your side arm, I'm going to drop into that bottom position. Oh, and that feels, for that one, deep into that position as I'm pushing back that way. That definitely is feeling it for me. There we go. But easing off quite nicely. Oh, good. Then we're going to go into a little bit of internal rotation. So this time, rather than the feet being across, I'm going to take and have my feet outside of my knees. You see that? And then I'm just going to work into one side first before the other. So I'm working over onto this right side, trying to keep that foot to the outside of that knee. And you might find, for me, particularly on the right side, that internal rotation is hardest, and then work over onto the left side. Oh. Again, you're going to feel it on that hip, but potentially a little bit more at the front now. And then we can work a little bit both together. So feet, trying to get your feet down, come down onto your heels, and then we're just going to rock forwards and backwards, just trying to encourage a little bit of range, particularly when you rock back. We can do a few circles in one direction and then circle in the other direction. We're just trying to explore different options around it. We can try and do like a figure 8. It's going to look a bit sexy, shape from the side, because we've got a couple of things to think about when we're dropping forwards and backwards, or doing our circles or our figure 8s. Is when, particularly when we drop back here, like what's my pelvis position like? Tucking under or pushing back? So that's that, and trying to force that anterior tilt as well as that posterior tilt. So as well as moving forwards and backwards, I want us to be able to actually move just the pelvis as well. So explore side to side, forwards, backwards, circular motions, but also explore just the pelvis moving. And then we can also explore the pelvis moving and a little bit of movement for us. Good. That should have some effect around, particularly on the top of the pelvis for you. You're going to now come, pull your socks up. Yes. Now we're going to come up into, put your hands are going to support you behind you, up into a seated position. And we're going to take the feet a little bit wider than the hips. And then we're just going to look at bringing one side across. So now we're creating that internal rotation at the hip and then the other side. To start with, just going to do a few reps, just anything that feels good. And then we'll do some little bit of specifics once we've moved. So we're really just looking at like loosening up around the back of the hip and the hip capsule, just thinking about that joint itself. Now we're going to look at what we like actually moving your femur in relation to that hip. So come across. When we come across, I want you to think about pulling down with your almost using your adductors a little bit, and then where you're going to feel a stretch on the outside of the hip here, you're going to squeeze down there, hold, wherever you may be able to get to. For me, left side is better than right side. That feels much tighter. But again, feel it here, down onto the inside as well. What we can do is we can use the other leg is going to go on top to provide a little bit of encouragement, a little bit of the weight of the leg just to pull down. Your job is not to roll with that hip in the same way. Your job is to try and create that hip on that. If my left knee is going towards the middle, that hip is trying to go that way. So I'm encouraging with this leg the knee down, but I'm working to make sure that I keep this hip that away. And when I do that, then I really feel that stretch on there. Swap sides. So this leg is coming this way, but I want to make sure the hip doesn't go that way as well. I want to make sure the hip goes backwards that way in the opposite direction. Leg goes on top. I'm trying to keep, so rather than falling in here, knee touches the floor easily, but because I'm moving the pelvis, I want to put the pelvis behind over there. I'm going to hold that shape. Again, breathe in and out through the nose. Try and relax. Let it go a little bit. Good. Okay, last one on these. We're going to come across, put that down, put that foot on top. Then this time I'm going to create a little bit of tension. So I'm going to push upwards initially for 7 seconds up against that foot. Same thing, trying to keep that pelvis backwards. So pushing up, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. then relax, and now you pull your knee down towards the floor. Good, and then one more. 7, push up, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. There we go. Getting into that bottom position now, easy. Okay, leg comes over, pelvis that way still. Push up into that foot that's on top. So this knee pushing upwards. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. This hip still that way. 2, 1, and relax. Pull that knee down further. Oh, there we go. Last one, push up into the foot. This knee pushing up. 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and then pull that knee down. There we go. Feeling good. Okay, let's get into this 90-90 position then. So those, or just have literally just a little bit of that, like side to side. How's that feel compared to before? Like, oh, that's feeling lush here. There's only one way to describe that. That is feeling lush. Okay, 90-90 sequence. Front leg up. If you're, and then we're trying to have a 90-degree angle at the knee here. Then we're trying to have a 90-degree angle between the two legs, and 90-degree angle at the back. If you're finding it difficult and you're fully slumped over to one side, rather than being able to stay more upright, what we can do is bring that foot in closer, bring that in foot closer, and you'll be able to feel that you can stay a little bit more upright. What we want to try and do is stay straight to that front leg, but you can adjust, you'll feel that. Adjust depending on how far those feet are out. It's going to be harder to stay in that shape. Hands are going to be down. You're going to be supporting, you're going to be looking forward. I want you to then think about trying to pull. So we've done some like passive stuff where effectively like I can pull my leg up, but there's only so far. My leg is that's effectively internal rotation. The difference between me, that's how far I can pick it up. But if I have to create that movement myself, like me pulling my leg up, it only goes that far. So we're going to work a little bit now more on the strength side of things. So how can you actively pull through that internal rotation? So I know the foot is moving up. We think of what's happening at the femur. The femur rolls inwards, that internal rotation for that foot to go up, which is now just strengthening that motion, that internal rotation motion that we were just doing when we were going in here. That femur is rolling inwards. Okay, so you're going to hold and pull it up for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And then we want to try and bring it around to the front and then rotate backwards. And then when you rotate backwards now, keep it up so that you're going to put the knee down onto the floor, but the foot isn't going to go down. The knee's down, and you're going to hold it for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then work on the front leg. The front leg, when we try and lift the foot up here, we think that femur in this side is then in a external rotation position. So in here. So rather than me pulling it up with my hand, what can I do on my own? Trying to, the knee's going to lift a bit, but what I'm trying to do is really pull the foot up rather than just, and I'm trying to create that rotation this way, so that external rotation at this front hip. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Good. And then with this one, we're going to roll the knee and put this leg out straight, or as straight as we can. And then we're going to try and control him back. Again, you're going to try and put the knee down before you put the foot down. Let's do that one more time. So lift the foot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it around to the front. Place it down if we want. And you're going to pull it back. Keep the feet off the floor. Knee is going to go down. Good. Then one more for this front side. Well, 2 more variations, where we're going to try and come forwards and then drive ourselves back. And I really want you to feel that when you come back, you're pushing, you staying straight rather than me twisting and coming over here. It's going to make you feel it in that hip that you're on here. This is my right side. So I'm going to come down into here, and then I'm actively pushing back up. You're going to feel tightness in the other side as well in terms of that internal rotation, depending on how much range you've got there. Again, one more, come forward, and then use this hip to drive back. Good. Last one, a little bit for the hamstring before we swap sides. So you're going to bring that leg out onto the front here. We're going to do then the same thing. You're just going to try and reach forward. You don't have to go very far in this shape. Reach forward to try and just feel a little bit of strain and stretch in that hamstring. And a way to think about, almost you're not going to, but you're feeling like you're trying to pull your leg straight up off the floor, engaging and those hip flexors, and thinking about trying to bring your thigh up towards, as you come forward, towards your stomach. So I want you to try and close that space, but at the same time reaching forwards. So it's I can't lift my leg up off the floor, but it's like I'm trying to, into there and back. Nice. Let's swap sides and then go through that again. So feet can be closer together to make it a little bit easier, but just make sure that you are chest pointing forwards. If you can open them out a little bit, great. From there, what is this back leg like? Lifting up, pulling the toes up off the floor. Use your hands to support you. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. This is my tighter side for my internal rotation. You can probably see that. Something I'm working on. And then control it back down. Foot stays up, knee touches the ground last. And then foot stays high. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Lay it down. Good. Then the front leg, we're trying to pull this foot up off the floor and create that external rotation on this side. You're going to feel it probably through that adductor on that side as well. So 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring it round, slide it in front, and control it back. Try and get the knee down before the foot goes down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Nice. Good. And from there, we're going to lean forward into it. So remember, chest not over here, chest over towards you. I'm going to lean forward, and then I'm using that hip, this external rotators on this side to help me come back up. So you want to make sure you can feel on that hip and come back up here. There. Keeping me straight rather than either looking over here or looking over there. I'm trying to stay straight and feel those external rotators helping to drive me up. Also, around the glutes as well, because we're literally going up from that flex position into that extension position. Last one then, bring the foot round in front with these like hamstrings. So again, you're imagining you're trying to pull your leg up off the floor. It's not going to raise up the floor. And then you're closing your thigh and your stomach. That angle, you're trying to close those together. Really try to compress that shape as you're going to reach forward. Nice and controlled, but really active in that shape. So I'm pulling that up. I can really feel my hip flexors. You might get a little bit of cramping sometimes in that can have to shake it out if that does happen. That's just a little bit of a neurology confusion around what your brain is trying to deal with, the fact that you're stretching those hamstrings and then you're using these hip flexors to make that happen. Good. Nice. Okay, that's the hips taken care of. Let's go into the bottom of that squat position. So you might be up onto your toes a little bit. I've got some sexy socks that are helping me slide around on the floor. Just what's the bottom of this squat position like? Can you get your heels down? If so, can we either with your heels down or let yourself come up onto your toes a little bit? Can we get a bit of encouragement of one knee out to the side now in this squat position? And then the other side. Just what feels good. A little bit of support if you need. just encouraging that shape. And then what we also like is a little bit of rotation in the shape. Hand can go on the floor, or hand can go and hold the actual ankle. You may need to be on your toes a little bit, but as you get better with this hip and ankle flexibility, you're going to be able to not need to go up onto your toes and keep your heels down. For me, so just rotating. We're going to go keep the elbow bent, hand go on the back of the head for now. We're just having some of that spinal rotation into it whilst in this deep squat. One more. This was something that I was absolutely nowhere near. I'd be like heels up, hand having to be here, and starting working in this shape. You know, say like last year, that was probably where I was at. You can make some really, really big and important changes, and you're going to feel a whole ton better because of it. Final bit is we're just going to go into the shoulders. So we're going to go lying face down. You're going to raise your hands up. You're going to bring them up and around. Nicely slow and controlled. You're going to squeeze those shoulders back. Imagine you squeeze the pound point between your shoulder blades. Nose stays hovering just above the floor. You're then going to try and touch your hands behind your back. Try not to touch your back if you can. Then we're going to come all the way back up to the start. Control back down. So we're squeezing the shoulders and trying to lift from the shoulder blades. And then that's going to raise your hands up. So don't just raise your hand up. Try to think about raising your shoulder blades up. Sweep then your hands around. Squeeze your shoulder blades back to create height in that retraction. Hands behind the back. Control back around. Head is staying in the same place all the time. What will often happen is we'll arch up through the back. I'll show you one side on. You'll arch up through the back to raise us up. And again, I don't want to just raise the hand, I want to go back and raise it through the shoulder blades. Squeeze those hands around, head is staying in that neutral position. Really retract and squeeze those shoulder blades back. So imagine you squeezing, pound point to your shoulder blades, hands touch behind, but without touching back if you can. And then keep that height as we come back down and go through there. Nice. And the very last one, we're just going to go for the shoulder. It's just to bring in the spine as well. So I'm going to be lying on my side. I'm going to take one knee over the top. Hand is going out at, say, we're going 10 and 2 o'clock. So out of that sort of diagonal position, imagine 10 o'clock and then 2 o'clock. I'm going to take this hand, reach forward, sweep my hand around. I'm going to try and keep it as close to the floor as I can. It's going to sweep then behind my back, just like we were before, and then reverse that whole motion as well. Important that this knee stays down on the floor, or you put it on top of foam roller on top of it to help you just a little bit. But I'm reaching, I'm coming, sweeping around. If I let this knee come up, I'm just rolling the whole of my pelvis. Whereas what I want to do is fix the pelvis. The knee is touching the floor is going to maintain that position for you, so that I come when I sweep around. What's working is my thoracic, so my upper back and upper spine flexibility is what's important there. Shoulder not being round forward, being back in the socket. Hand is going to go behind the back, so we've got some like internal rotation of the shoulder. I'm now going to rotate around, so creating that external rotation, and then just coming back through. Swap sides, you'll see that back position. So leg over the top, hand out at 2 o'clock, reach forward, rotate around, sweep, 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 sweep. Trying to pull my shoulder blade down to the floor, keeping as close to the floor as I can. Not necessarily touch the floor. Shoulder not rams forward, back in the socket. Hand then internal rotate, so the palm goes down, hand goes behind the back. Keep that shoulder back. Reverse it as we come through. We'll go through one more of those. So reach, sweep around, keep the hips in the same position, knees on the floor, trying to pull this shoulder blade down to the ground, keep the shoulder in the socket whilst we now internally rotate, keep the shoulder back, hand is now palm down, behind the back, slow and controlled. We work it and we rotate it back the other direction, back to our starting shape. Boom. How's that feel? How are we getting on? A few happy birthday messages. Thank you everyone for the happy birthday messages. I hope you've enjoyed that mobility. Hopefully you're feeling a bit better. The final thing to do is just to check what does that overhead squat feel like and look like compared to at the start. So you're just going to hold work on our spine, we've done work on our hips, we've done work on our shoulders. If I now go back to that overhead squat position, now that we've gone through all of that, I drop in, boom. How does that feel to before? For me, I feel way more upright. I feel like my thoracic spine is able to stay in a more upright and a bit of extension position. Hands are higher up rather than dropping forward. And I'm getting it comfortable in that deep position, and that the elbows and the arms are able to stay straight rather than wanting to bend as they did at the start. Some of that is range of motion and flexibility, like the ability, have you got the range to get there? But through tightness, some of that then comes down to the sort of strength element of, are we strong enough to hold ourselves into those positions? And that's where that stability element is the link between those two things. If you've got stability around a joint, it will allow you to, the brain will then give you the opportunity to use it because it feels safe. The brain is interested in protection and prediction. So if it predicts and it feels that something's tight, and you're going to try and put force through that tightness, it might go, that feels a bit unsafe in that position. I'm going to tighten up everything around that joint just to protect it. So until we do something to let it believe that we're going to be okay, by adding in a stimulus for it that gives it that stability and that strength in those more difficult positions that it requires, then that's how we're going to help it to give us those ranges of motion as long as we have control through them. That in a nutshell is a little bit around the philosophy on mobility training. We've got a full mobility masterclass inside the virtual classroom that we did in collaboration with the master himself, Ollie Frost. So do check that one out if you haven't yet. You get that as part of your VIP membership. Everyone saying happy birthday, thank you. Remember, we've got 50% off. The link is below, 50% off all of our clothing to celebrate my birthday while stocks last. I know that a lot of it is potentially already gone. A lot of people jumping on that. 50% off all of our clothing to celebrate my birthday. Anyone managed to guess my correct age yet? Someone said one year older than last year, which is technically absolutely correct. But anyone got anything else other than that? Thank you everyone for so many birthday messages. Thank you also for joining me. Some people asking about a month's program for beginners. We've made our whole bodyweight basics program free during lockdown, which is, crikey, that's a lot more than 1 month. So check out the schoolofcalisthenics.com. All of our programs to follow are in what we call the virtual classroom. The links are in the description below if you're watching on YouTube. Otherwise, go to schoolofcalisthenics.com and then click through to the virtual classroom. You'll find it all there. We've got online memberships there. We've got 50% off online memberships at the moment as well during lockdown. So you can get started with a standard membership for just $4.99 a month. John Brock on YouTube. Thanks, Jacko. Loving all the sessions from you and all the guys. Thank you all. Hey, it's our absolute pleasure. Thank you. Every single one of you that joins, myself, Tim, Owen, Georgie, and the other coaches. We really appreciate you. Otherwise, it would just be us doing our training sessions on our own. Right, it's time for me to say, oh, Jeff Swims, hello from San Francisco, how are you doing? Right, the first bit's JD Stones, a happy 38th birthday with that emoji, like thinking. Yes, correct. First one in. Oh, Victor Richard Harvey, how you doing, buddy? I want to see some pictures inside of your camper van, mate. Right, I'm off to enjoy the sun very, very, very soon. And enjoy my 46 years old, William, you cheeky bugger. Right, thank you all for joining me. I hope that's helped. Just for some facts, recheck that overhead squat and let me know. Did it feel better? Just write in, feels better, or put feels the same, feels no better. Am I going to have any cake? I don't think so, unless I can make. I made some pancakes last night. I'm on the full health train. Just since it's my birthday, I'm not going to do something to me. I still want to nourish myself. Health is the number one thing. If you haven't got health, you haven't got anything. Did your overhead squat feel better after that? So Pedro on YouTube said feels loads better, and that emoji. Surfer Boy 30 feels great. Awesome, thank you, mate. And loving, yes, the mushroom emojis. Could you see it before on the? Can you see the mushrooms? The light was a bit bad. And then on this one, we've got vibes. Sucks. They're so sick. Anyone else? How do you squat feel? Yes, I know the lockdown hair and beard are adding many years to me. Yeah, I'm enjoying that though. Anyone else overhead squat feeling better after that? If you imagine that's something that you can do that whenever you want. It's not like it's not difficult in terms of like loads, not lifting any weight, we're just moving our own body. You can do that any time of the day that you wanted, but also that's the type of lower body sort of movement prep that is good when you're doing some of your lower body sessions as well. Zahida, hips feeling good. Awesome. Glad. All right. Thank you very much, guys and girls. Thank you all for the birthday messages. Susanna, Pina on YouTube, you're my favorite. You're my absolute favorite. I absolutely love you. You have guessed my age as being 21. You're too kind. Right. Thank you, everybody. I hope you have as good a day as I'm planning to do. And I will see you all very soon. Owen is here tomorrow for some animal movement exploration. So do join him for that at 11 a.m. UK time. We're off then for the weekend. I'm then back on Monday at 11 for core. So get ready for Ab Club. Remember, no white socks. None up in here. Class dismissed.